for my day. And now another day is gone. I've got no one to talk with, tell my troubles to. Don't even know I'm living since I lost you. Black night.
Be resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, abort resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
And you're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. What's up, people? Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And truly, thank God it's Friday. But so as usual, I'm coming in a little late here because of pundits. The show before me. I usually try to make it in here by 12:05, but kind of difficult. Anyway, so in between shows, I have conversation. I was talking to Joel Ugly, he's telling, he was asking me, what's up? So how you guys feel that the president's former attorney, Michael Cohen, has pleaded guilty to lying to Congress? And I was like, well, let me see. So he pled guilty for giving the wrong date on a real estate deal that never happened. Right? So he said he stopped working on a project of Trump actually building a building in Russia. He said he finished in January 2016. It turned out he didn't finish until till June or July 2000. I think it's June 2016. So they're saying, well, how you feel about that? Well, that is his problem, right? First off, he probably made a mistake if he did it intentionally. He's an idiot. There was no reason to lie. There was no laws broken. But this is what everybody's talking about when they say that Robert Mueller's out there just putting perjury traps after perjury traps out there. So he's trying to get you off on a little detail that's going to make your life miserable. And now, in order to get out of whatever conviction or plea down, your time that you will spend in jail, in order to do that, since he caught you on a little lie, now your life is his. Right? Your life is your life is thrown away because you made a mistake in speech. So how do I feel about it? It's not. It's the same thing. Like CNN this morning, Joe Ugly, they're like, we got the president out. They've been saying that for the last 2 years. You know that. Everyone out there who hates Trump, this is going to be the day that, this is the first time in a while that I think he's going to resign. Trump's not going anywhere unless you vote him out. And it's not healthy to have these delusions, which is what I was telling Joe Ugly. It's not a healthy thing to have these delusions, especially the people who actually think that Trump is going to be led out the White House in handcuffs. The Robert Mueller investigation isn't going to lead to Trump being led out the White House in handcuffs. And if you think that, you've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. Right? So that is not what it's going to lead. It's going to lead to him writing a report that the Democrats will use to try to impeach President Trump. That's all it's going to lead to. There's going to be a report with a lot of circumstantial evidence and a list of people who lied, and he's going to want you to try to connect all those dots to Trump is guilty of something, so let's impeach him. That's all it's going to be. And like I said, if you think Trump's going to get walked out of the White House in handcuffs, not going to happen. So if that was your dream, then I just burst that bubble, right? So anyway, so that's what I was telling Joe, right? And then he talked about the tear gassing on the border. And I'm like, what? And I realized that once he told me about the tear gas on the border, that he had no idea what he was talking about. That he had no idea. That means the channels he's watching, MSNBC, hasn't been reporting on all the facts, right? So when he brought that up, I said, wait a minute. If we're going to talk about tear gas, let's talk about the fact that Obama did it. And he said, what? The Obama administration never tear gassed anybody. See, and that's the thing. When you're listening to media outlets like MSNBC, CNN, the New York Times, you're not going to find it on the front page. You might find it in page 32. Because they're trying to basically keep you uninformed. right? So they're trying to keep you uninformed. So he goes, wait. So you're telling me that Obama, how many times? And I'm like, Joe, does it matter? You just caught Trump doing it, or not even Trump, it's the Border Patrol who's actually doing their job and dispersing the crowd from actually becoming a riot or actually hurting the Border Patrol agents. That's what their job is. Anyway, so I said, so they're just reporting on it happening right now one time under Trump. Which actually it turns out that this wasn't the first time under Trump either. It's like 26 times under Trump. Right? So he goes, well, what are you talking about? I didn't see that report that Obama did it. So I sent him over the articles, and then they want to talk about it. He just kept silent after that. Right? I sent the article from the USA Today, from Real Clear Politics, from Newsweek. You know, things that he didn't have. Because if I would have sent him a Fox News article, he would have been like, oh, Fox News, I don't believe anything. Right? But actually, Fox News has been reporting the truth, right? So I sent him over all those articles so that he could see. And he didn't want to talk about it after that, right? And the actual number on Obama was the Obama administration actually used tear gas, pepper spray at least once a month. At least once a month. So now it's, I'm tired of this. What about Obama? What about Obamaism? That's what people now. Since they can't handle the truth, now they don't want you to. Why you keep bringing up Obama? I don't know why you kept bringing up Bush when Obama was president. Maybe because he's the last president? Anyway, no, he has to be. Why am I bringing up Obama? Maybe because he's black, right? Oh, he's right. Oh, my God. People are so mentally lazy. People are so lazy that instead of actually critically thinking, actually having a full thought, one that you take your time actually thinking through a process, instead of doing that, they go to racism, sexism, this ism, all the isms. That's the only thing that's in the Democrat vocabulary. Ism this, ism that, ism that. And it's ridiculous. That's because you're mentally lazy. You got to wake up. So I try to wake up Joe. And now he left the office with some newfound facts that Obama tear gas people to. This is another I guess excuse, or trying to move the goalposts or redirecting, whatever you want to call it. Now the new one is Obama didn't tear gas kids. And I saw an article saying, yes, Obama used tear gas, but he didn't tear gas kids. As if these kids, who that mother was in the midst of like 100 or more men, she's in the midst of all these young men who are charging the border, trying to bust down the fence. I don't know why she chose that group to be in the midst of that group. But it's like, so in the midst of all those men, the border, it's like our border patrol, because they're under Trump now, they're evil, right? Obviously, that's how people, the simple-minded Democrats, think. So our border patrol was actually aiming for the mother and kids? No, and it's idiotic to think it. Right? So to actually say that under Obama never targeted kids, that's kind of like the dumbest thing to say. But it's also assuming that the once a month that the Border Patrol had to clear the crowds, never in the 8 years of Obama were there kids at the border. Never in the 8 years of Obama did any kid at the border while running away with his parent ever inhaled a little tear gas. You see the mental gymnastics that you have to do to actually get to the point of being a Democrat, to actually go do those mental gymnastics so that you're going backwards in life. You're not, evolution stopped for you, right? You're just stuck. That's where you have to be to say stuff like Obama never targeted children. The idiot. Like there's Border Patrol agents targeting children. But that's what you have. That's the arguments of the Democrats, right? First is Trump is a monster, it's immoral to tear gas people at the border. They're just helpless people. They're hungry. They're trying to get in. There you go. Wait a minute. Obama did it. No, he didn't. Yeah. Let's take a couple of seconds to think this through and I'll show you the facts. No, I know that Obama wouldn't do that. And then you show them the facts and it's like, yeah, he did it, but at least he didn't target children. You see how you have to actually keep going backwards? Or do a backflip, a mental backflip to get to the point where you're going, yeah, but Obama didn't target children. That's what you have with the Democrats. All right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. I'll be right back.
Yeah, evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Another Jesus drew the parallel tale. The story really never ends well. Swarm down like a vulture. Judas bent us over and they came and f***ed us over. Now we selling agriculture. My island, falling down in a hole in silence. Peace and violence, keep a silence. Forever staying strong, can't bring me down along. I know you really hate this song. Money has a soul, now we pay back loans. School shutting down, they don't even have a frown. Breaking laws, no American representative represented us it up. What happened, Uncle Sam? Fucking up your plans. Lo hago por mi pueblo, situación de deseo para hacer lo que puedo. Now tell me how this hook does it sound so good. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. They will never change. They will never change. Let me take you back to Black Wall Street. Really have a white man off me. Keep him off quiet about Christopher Columbus. Say clues about the riots, how he murder us thousands. Victims of America, how they telling us we're free in the land where they bury us. My island not for sale. Made his words live long and prevail. Do you feel? Rip my roots, take my life, make me dumb, shoot my kind. Kill our leaders, my people so deceitful. Everything you ever done was evil. Our minds still tied to those chains. Still walking like slaves, getting played by the game. Some things will never change, but I'm standing by my flag, yelling as I ask. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Never treat me E. Evil man, evil man.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media with Harry, aka The Brave. All right, let's. I'm gonna try to play a clip here. They never work for me, but here we go. And come on. And no, it's not working for me. All right. Never mind. It's like Google is always trying to mess with whatever I put up here. Alright, let's see if we can hear it. Alright, so what the clip was what's going on the caravan at the border, right? Besides just being tear gassed, right? But the complication that's happening over there right now, right? There's a lot of sickness. And on the video there was one guy, an actual immigrant of the the migrant of the caravan. He was there and he was worried. He was actually talking about going back because the sickness that's in the tents, the infestation of lice, a lot of people with respiratory issues, right? So they're having colds, virus. They have, some of them, flu. So he was saying that it's disgusting in those places, and he's worried about actually getting sick and not having proper medical care, right? That's what the clip was saying. But even though they have like free clinics there in the midst of those caravans, but so the guy's worried. Now, if the guy is worried, shouldn't we be worried, right? That all these people coming in through the border sick and everything, and coming back over here, like they said, some of them have chickenpox over there too, and everything. So a lot of the stuff that has gone away here for us, they're gonna bring it in because they're not vaccinated, right? And there you go. And then we have a whole bunch of people not vaccinated here in America because a lot of them are allergic or something like that, and they're protected because of the people around them are vaccinated, right? But if you introduce a new population that's not vaccinated, that's sick, that's how we're starting to see old viruses and diseases come back, right? But so that was the clip I wanted to show, which I'm not going to be able to show. But all of this stuff, and it's insane, because if you just look back a month ago, when before the midterm elections, and everybody was saying, well, the mainstream media, the left, the New York Times, the MSNBC, the CNN, the CBS, so all of them were saying that Trump's exaggerating this. He's exaggerating this caravan. They're probably never going to get here. They're more than 200 miles away. And, if you remember all of those excuses the Democrats were doing, because they didn't want to be seen as soft on the border, but they didn't want to be seen as hard on the border, right? So they were trying to play this game of the caravan really doesn't matter. And keep in mind that behind this caravan that's in Tijuana right now, there's a couple of new caravans that are starting up, right? So people are still not getting the message that they shouldn't come, and it's because of the organizers, right? And actually the Mexico of Tijuana yesterday was blaming the organizers for actually selling a story to the caravan, the people in the caravan coming over. He said they were sold a story and none of it is true. There's no easy way to do this stuff, that you should actually go through the legal way, right? But he was blaming the caravan yesterday, and it is a problem. You see it. You have them they're throwing rocks at the border patrol and trying to find a weakness in the fence to try to rush the border patrol. So we're having major problems. And you know what would have fixed this? We're 2 years, right? 18 months into Donald Trump's presidency, right? Guess what would have fixed this? Guess what would have protected the Border Patrol from not getting hit by rocks in the head? Right? Guess what would have protected these people, right, from actually trying to do this trek that they took all the way from Honduras or Guatemala? It would have protected them because they would have known they couldn't get into our country that way, right? Guess what would have fixed this? A big, beautiful wall. A big, beautiful wall on the southern border with a nice big door, a nice wide door, so that the legal people get in. And that would stop the people from actually making these trips where some people die in the desert. Some kids drown trying to get across the Rio Grande. You know, so guess what? Guess what would have fixed all of this? A big, beautiful wall. A big, beautiful wall with a door. A nice wide door for the legal. Because, you know, we actually take about 1 million, more than 1 million. We allow legal immigration. More than 1 million people come legally every year. So we'll have that big, beautiful wide door on that big, beautiful wall. The Trump wall. That would have fixed it, right? But everybody who's been telling you a wall is not necessary, a wall wouldn't do anything, there's proof right now on the border that a wall dividing both sides at the border would not only help us protect our borders, but would help them not make the stupid decision to actually come this way, to actually come the legal way. Right? It's pretty simple. You know, build that wall. That's what we need to do. All right, you're listening to Breaking News.
If you feel that comfortable, you ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 Where? You ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 If you feel that comfortable, our space is set up to say nothing. That's why you're here with me. These sheets create limitations. Strip down when you're next to me. You say that you want it, so show me you want it. I say that to say this to you. Let's do what we came here to do. If you feel that comfortable, you ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 Where? You ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 If you feel that comfortable, it's okay if you're whispering something. It's clear what you're saying to me. Here you need no invitation, cause it's where you need to be. You say that you want it, so show me you want it. I say that to say this to you. Let's do what we came here to do. If you feel that comfortable, you ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 Where? You ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 If you feel that comfortable, our space is set up to say nothing. That's all that we need to be. So born in a good situation. So go when you're next to me. You say that you want it, you show me you want it. I say that to say this to you, cause I'll give it all to you. If you feel that comfortable, you ain't gotta go nowhere. 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 Where? You ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't gotta go nowhere.
calorie-free sweetness. Pick Truvia.
With Wix, you can create a professional website that looks stunning. Just go to Wix.com. The best part is, you can update it and keep it fresh whenever you want. I like changing up the background. It instantly gives my site a whole new look. I constantly add new photos. Here are some of my latest, which I love. I always wanted to start my own blog. This would be the perfect place. I've got this new project going on, so I'll add a new section here, and I'll put in all the details. Let people find you online. Wix SEO Wiz helps you grab those top search results. It looks amazing. I'm so happy I did this.
These tear gas at the border too, and no one was interested in covering it. What do you think?
Is there evidence of that? Because I'll show you this photo that's circulating right now. These two little girls, shoeless, fleeing from tear gas. Do they have a photo like that?
The National Review is calling out liberal and conservative media for what they call flawed coverage
just like
of the
Joe
Obama
Rogan, they're finding out for
administration.
the
Now they
first
point out
time
that Obama had
that
border
Obama was
patrol
no
agents
better.
use tear gas at the border too,
So,
and no one was interested in covering it then. What do you think?
Is there evidence of that? Because I saw a
So they're
picture, I'll show you
reacting
this
to it.
photo
So here's the interesting thing, right?
that's circulating right now.
She's
These
saying,
two little girls, shoeless, fleeing from tear gas. Do they have a photo like that when Obama was in?
if there's no photos, it didn't happen, right? That's what it sounds like she's saying.
That it happened multiple
He goes
times,
another
more than once a month, in
right.
fact, during the Obama years.
Excuse for
Here's another
right?
thing I read in that piece. It
So-
said
Facts are stubborn things, guys. I mean,
it said over.
It makes me laugh because I deal with
and we can
people
call
who do
out,
this all the
BS
time
on
throughout
both,
the day,
to be
right? So
honest. Because of the president's rhetoric,
They-
I think we're shining such a light on this.
explanations
But in that
for
piece, it said
Obama
over a period of 4 months in 2014
are
under the Obama
kinda
years,
funny.
HHS
This is
allegedly
really
placed a
hard.
number of
But look, I
unaccompanied
got a
children in the
picture
hands
of
of
the
a
lady
ring of
actually
human
running from
traffickers
gas.
who forced them to work on egg farms in and around Ohio,
you
leading
have
to a
one
federal
over
criminal
Obama.
indictment. And according to the indictment, the minor victims were forced to work 6-7 hours a week,
Okay,
12
so
hours
we go
per
back
day.
to
These are
the-
things that we don't talk about. The challenges
Homeland
are
Security data does validate that it happened multiple times, more than once a month, in fact, during the Obama years.
Here's another thing I read in that piece. It said
Facts are stubborn things, guys. I mean,
it said over. It said over.
History
No.
of dealing with these caravans.
I
and
love
the
that.
vast majority of them,
Meghan
their
McCain,
first act upon coming to the United States is an illegal act.
interrupts
and that
their
sets the tone
lunacy
right
of.
there, and that
But
just
there's no
cannot be
picture.
tolerated, and it can't happen.
There's no picture, of course, because the newspaper, you know, the media
She says the overwhelming
was
majority of these individuals are not
in
eligible
love with
for
Obama
asylum in
and
the
didn't want to
US
report
under
any
our
bad
laws.
stuff on
Historically,
Obama.
less than 10%
That's
of those
why
who claim asylum
he
from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador
has
are
the
found eligible by a
cojones, the
federal
balls to go
judge.
out there
Here's what the
and make
president had
foolish
to say
and
last night,
ridiculous
and we knew we were gonna
comments
hear
like
from him. Here's
there was
what he
never any drama during his administration. There's no controversy, and all that. And then when you hit people in the face with the fact that Obama did have controversies, he had Benghazi, he had Fast and Furious, where they ran guns to cartel members who killed Mexicans and killed Border Patrol, right? So you could just keep going on and on with Obama, right? So you have the IRS, the Solyndra, where he gave his friends money, for their
a picture's worth 1,000 words. And when the American
solar
public sees
panel
that these
company
individuals
and all
are
that.
not
We could
following our
go
laws,
on
but in
and on.
fact they're rushing our
Let's
border,
talk about
what it
the
does is it
stimulus
galvanizes
package.
the public, and it lets them know
Obama's
the
stimulus
situation
package,
that
nearly
we're
$1 trillion
under, the
that
situation
went
we're poised to
nowhere.
face.
Where's that money?
The president hit some very, very
You
key
can't
points.
find a stimulus
One,
program
Congress has to act.
that money was
Two,
used on.
They need to fund the wall,
Right, so
that we can build walls. In
we could go
strategic
on and
locations
on
so
with
that we
Obama,
don't have to
right?
face
And we
this
could even talk
situation,
about
and
Russian
we can
collusion with
control,
Obama, right?
the crossing
What's the
points
first
where it
thing
takes
Obama
place.
does when he
But,
goes
you know,
into
he hit
office?
all the right points. He also talked
actually
about the tear
takes
gas.
George
That tear
Bush
gas has been certified
had made an
as safe
agreement
for
with
all individuals,
Poland to
including
actually
children.
put
And again, we
an
do have
anti-missile
to be
defense
careful
system,
with children, but it has been determined
right?
safe. And
Which
again, I will point out there
Putin
were
was
absolutely
upset
no
over.
injuries in this incident.
Brandon,
Putin was almost declaring it an act of war, us putting an anti-missile system next to him, right? So what did Obama do? First thing he did, he stopped
I don't think
the
that we're going to be
anti-missile
getting any more
defense
troops,
system
nor do I think that we need
that we
more
were putting
troops.
up there.
The troops have been
After
great as far as being our
we
eyes,
had
being
an
our
ally
ears,
actually
watching out and looking what's
cross
happening and being able
Putin,
to deploy our agents to the right places. They're an absolute
he had to deal with that,
I'm grateful that the president has deployed the troops, as have past presidents in the past. But this president has taken it further as far as giving us more
when they
resources
sold,
on
when the Obama administration sold 20% of our uranium
Brandon, finally, and we're
to
going to
who?
have to leave it here, but if
To
you
Putin
could, you
and the
hear
Russians.
frustration in your voice.
Imagine if
so
any
close
of
to
that
this, and we're all
stuff
trying to get more information about what
was
is
done
happening
under
there.
Trump.
If you could just leave us off with what you see as the most
Imagine that.
misunderstood
Uranium
point about what is
One. That's
happening there right now.
the scandal that
Well, I
Obama
think
never had a scandal.
The media,
no drama.
the mainstream
Obama.
media
Remember that?
is not being honest with the American public.
But the
in
Uranium
situation
One
that we
deal
face.
sold 20% of our uranium to Russia.
In these situations,
What is?
And then the
what
mainstream
do
media is vilifying
you
our
use uranium
agents.
for? To
That's
build
wrong,
nuclear
and it needs to
bombs.
stop.
And we
Brandon
sold
Judd,
it
National
to
Border Patrol
our
Council.
number
Thank
one
you for coming on the
enemy.
program this morning.
Thank you.
Right? So imagine that. Imagine if any of that happened under Trump. Uranium One, take out the anti-missile defense system for the benefit of who? Only Russia. Right? And then, right after his election in 2012, Obama is overheard on an open mic telling the Russian president at the time, tell Vladimir that now that I have no more elections, I'm more open. There you go. Imagine if they caught Trump doing that. If you want to look for a Russian collusion, you have Obama with all of that Uranium One deal, anti-missile defense system that he took out of Europe just for the benefit of Russia. And then you have him telling Medvedev that he's open to Putin. Imagine. But that's the thing. So when you hit people with facts, it's like Meghan McCain said, facts are a stubborn thing. I know I went off on a little thing, but let's go back.
And we can call out, BS on both, to be honest. Because of the president's rhetoric, I think we're shining such a light on this.
It's a big difference.
But in that piece, it said over a period of 4 months in 2014 under the Obama years, HHS allegedly placed a number of unaccompanied children in the hands of a ring of human traffickers who forced them to work on egg farms in and around Ohio, leading to a federal criminal indictment. And according to the indictment, the minor victims were forced to work 6-7 hours a week, 12 hours per day. These are things that we don't talk about. The challenges are very real.
Last I checked, President Obama is no longer in office.
Exactly.
President Trump is in office, and this is destroying.
And here we go. Right? Now, part of the story of Obama also tear gassing people at the border. People. Right? So if a child was in the mist, Border Patrol is dispersing the people. They're trying to break the crowd up, right? They're not going, oh, let's pick a child to hit on the head with this tear gas. Right? So, part of the story was also the fact that Obama would give kids to people who weren't their parents, right? So they were sex trafficked and they were victims of abuse and everything. Right? So that's one of the problems with catch and release, right? A lot of those people don't come in. They have no proof that the child
I'm Ken
they're
Jacobus,
with
and I switched to the
is
Spark
their
Cash
child.
Card from Capital One. I earn unlimited 2%
So
cash
imagine
back on everything I buy.
Imagine if
And
that
last year,
happened
I
under
earned
Trump.
$36,000 in cash
They'd
back,
say
which
that
I used to
Trump
offer
gave
health
the
insurance
kids
to my
himself
employees. What's in
personally
your
to some,
wallet?
child traffickers. So go and do this, right? Because that's how the media and that's how the simple Democrats act.
Raising the chance now of a government
Right.
shutdown. Let's go to our headliner today. We are pleased to have
it
back
going.
with us
And he's destroying the country. And this but Obama,
But Obama,
doesn't work for me.
Bill
That's
and
not to
Sandy
say using
Ready
tear
to
gas.
vote.
I think it's
We
immoral
understand
when you're
5
using
billion,
tear
give or
gas
take,
against
not over
children.
years.
But ProPublica
Time,
just
but over
found
2
that
years.
the Trump administration has
Is that
secretly
something we know what
continued to
What
separate
President Trump
kids
has talked about
from
is
their
that he needs
families. The Obama administration, they never did that. But I'm not, you know, the ACLU says that kind of separate.
And let me stop
building
right
the wall, including technology, making sure that our Border Patrol agents
This
have
is
the
another
tools
thing they're
they
trying
need.
to.
You
They
just
try.
saw in the last few
They
days,
try to
they're
rewrite
being
history,
attacked
right?
and assaulted by some of the
Obama
people
never
in
separated
this caravan. And the
kids.
president needs to secure
He
the
should
border. I
have,
think it's
by the
important
way,
for all
if he
Americans
didn't,
that we get
because
this
obviously a lot of these kids
Senator Chuck Schumer making his thoughts on this very
were
clear
abused.
on the Senate floor
They were
yesterday.
sent off with people who weren't their parents or their sibling or anything.
$1.3 billion
Right,
Congress
so
allocated last year. In the fiscal
everybody
year
who goes,
2018
Obama
budget
never
for
did
border
this.
security,
Now, keep in mind that the
drones,
court
technology.
ruling
This isn't actually about border security.
that's used now
This is
against
the
Trump,
president trying to
it was in
manufacture a
2014 that
to fire
told
up
the
his base.
Obama administration that they had to stop separating children.
Well, Chuck Schumer's still burned from the last time he shut the government
Understand
down.
that.
It didn't work for him then.
The
It's not gonna
court
work for him
order
now because
that
people
keeps
know.
being
They
used
see this
against
threat at the
Trump
border. Look at this caravan.
is
There
the
are already
court
more than
order that was
600
given
known
under the
convicted criminals
Obama
in the
administration, where
caravan.
they were
just
told
arrested another
they couldn't
MS-13
separate
gang
the
member
families.
2 days ago as part of this caravan, and President Trump has said,
So
I need the money
everybody's
to
trying to
fully secure the
rewrite
border.
history as
Sure, the
if
first $1.5 billion
that's
is
a
out there being
recent
spent. That's only a small
law. You know,
portion of
not
what it
even a
takes to
law. It's not a
secure
law.
the entire
It's,
American
it's
border.
a,
So if Chuck Schumer
basically
wants to take the
a
position
law
that he's willing
created
to
by
shut the government down because he
a
doesn't want to
judge
secure
because he
America's
makes
border,
makes a
people see what's
decision which
happening
sets
right now. They know what's
precedents,
at
and
stake,
people
and
start
he'll lose
using
that
it as a
shutdown like
law.
he lost the last shutdown. Hopefully it doesn't happen. We don't want a shutdown. We want to
Right?
make sure we
So-
can secure America's
and
border.
it's fairly
President
recent.
Trump's laid out a very concrete plan that makes a lot of sense to get this done.
And the judge made
Let's
that
go and see a
judgment
bipartisan
under the
agreement to
Obama
secure America's
administration. He
border,
told the
especially at a time
Obama
when we see the
administration
assault coming
he
from
couldn't, they
known
couldn't
criminals. And
separate
keep
kids.
this in mind. Every
Right?
single day on average, our
So
Department
this
of
is the
Homeland
thing.
Security
You
stops
have
10
to
known terrorists
basically
from entering
push
this
back
country.
on the ignorance.
Every
And
single day, we need to secure the border. President
View
Trump has laid out a plan
is
to do
special.
it. If Chuck Schumer
Let's keep
doesn't
going.
want that to happen,
Operation
if
is
he wants to shut the
unprecedented. So
government
this
down
whole,
over
but
whether or not
Obama
to
did it.
secure
But
the border,
Obama did it. I
that's a
don't
failed
care what
position.
Obama did. I don't care what Trump is
Doesn't care
doing
what
right
Obama
here,
did.
right now.
You know, the
It's strange to
negotiations
say
are
that
ongoing.
you
We
don't
still
care
have
that it was
a few more
happening
days to get
before.
this done.
Sorry, I'll let
We
the
will
applause
get it
line
done.
happen.
But at the end of the day,
and again,
we
not
need to
the
secure
butter,
America's
but I'm
border,
saying
and we're
the
gonna keep battling
coverage
until we
didn't
finally
even
get the
mention that
agreement
this
to
has
make
been
that
going on
happen.
since 2012.
But neither did the
Since 2012.
Republicans. The Republicans have never mentioned this. Listen, with all the stuff
You're
that
infuriated now.
The Republicans weren't mentioning it now. It's
actually
you
what
guys.
infuriates me.
You're the
Here's
ones
what
who have to stay
infuriates me.
consistent.
The fact that
in a tweet, he said,
we
today,
knew
my legal
Obama
team
was the
deporter-in-chief.
deporter-in-chief.
From House
That was very
that the
clear.
American
He deported
people
more
watch.
people
Bob
than
Goodlatte,
anybody.
chairman of the committee, was
Okay?
with us
He
last
did it
hour and said
without
that
saying
he was
those
racist.
people.
Testimony.
He did it without whipping people up into hatred. That's the difference. So that when you say, oh, Obama...
The fact of the matter is that he is trying to run the clock on
So
us.
this idea of, well, he did it,
Trying to
well,
run the
yeah,
clock,
he
sir?
probably did, and we're
I agree with
aware
Chairman
that he
Goodlatte.
was a
Look, we've laid
deporting
out a
fool if you
number of
read the
different options
statistics.
for
He
Comey to
deported
come
folks.
in.
No,
You don't get to
everybody said,
decide
you know,
whether or not
hey,
you want
we
to
don't like this
comply,
part of it.
with
But
a
I also
compelling order to
remember
come
there
and
was no
testify
help
before
from
Congress.
Congress.
Ironically,
There was
in
no
his
help
tweet,
from
he
the
mentions
Senate. Nobody was
transparency.
there saying,
The
hey,
whole
we're
idea
going to
of getting him
stand
to come
with
and
you.
testify
So where
is to
were the
be
Republicans
transparent
if
with
they
the
knew
American
this was
people,
happening
not
and they
through
felt
leaks,
that
which
it was
Comey's good at,
wrong?
I guess
but
they
by
didn't
being
think it was
sworn in
wrong.
under
Where
oath
were
and
they
testifying
then?
and
Did
telling the
Democrats think it
truth
was wrong?
to
I
the
mean,
Exactly.
American people about what's going on.
This is the
a
first
witch hunt?
time
Is this
I'm
targeted?
seeing all
What's
this.
really
So
happening?
this is my
maybe
The
that-
only way to
Here's-
get true
here's the thing.
transparency is not
And
through
this is how
pin down
they,
elite stuff and
once
write books.
again,
It's
they're
about swearing him in under oath
deflecting,
and getting an honest
right?
conversation about getting
By
the facts to the
going,
American
like,
people.
by saying, you tell them, why weren't you offended when this happened under Obama? Well, why weren't the Republicans offended? Well, the Republicans aren't the ones who are offended now. It's still you guys. You're the ones who have changed. By you going, why are you people being consistent? You're not outraged now, you're not outraged. You weren't outraged then.
there is a lot of
Why is
diplomacy
that?
going on. Because what Russia's trying to do with our friends in the Ukraine is wrong.
You're the ones who are showing the hypocritic tendencies, right? You're the ones who didn't care. You saw Sunny, whatever her name is,
I'm glad we're seeing it
said
now. And let's bring more
she doesn't care what Obama did. She only cares what Trump does.
It has to stop. Let's back the Ukrainians.
There you go. She's telling you the truth there.
Or whether
she's a hypocrite.
Pompeo and others are going to make this.
Most Democrats are.
and bring more countries to bear.
And when you shock people with the truth,
Thank you, Congressman.
when you tell people there were plenty of scandals under Obama, when you tell people when they go, Obama didn't like, well, hold up. When he said if you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor, he lied. And he said that hundreds of times to sell
That's why we designed savings and checking accounts with
a
no fees
law
or minimums. This
to sell,
is making
to
reimagined.
actually
What's
take
in your
over
wallet?
a big chunk
I want to share for the folks at home
of our
a
medical
new
industry.
picture that we've just gotten here as we continue our coverage of the G20.
Something
Vladimir
that would
Putin,
dictate
the president of Russia, has arrived here
to all the
This
insurance
is
companies.
obviously
Guess
important
how he
because there had
sold
been
it.
some
He sold it with the
that the
biggest
president
lie.
and
And I
President
think,
Putin
I forgot which newspaper it was. I think it was the Washington Post called it the lie of the year.
Forth about what happened between Russia
Because he kept
and
using
Ukraine.
it,
There had been
knowing
some
he was
percolation
lying to the
behind
people.
scenes.
And he
Hey,
would end it with,
they'll
if you
work
want
this
your
thing
health
out
care
at
plan,
the
you can
after
keep
all,
your health
we
care
have
plan,
just
period.
learned that right now the U.S. has no intentions for a pull-aside between the
This
leader
is the
of our
so-
country and Russia's leader. Meanwhile, calling this
It's
a win for
ridiculous when you
American
try to
farmers and in
act
particular U.S.
outraged.
manufacturers. The president
Everybody
today
sees
Bill
through
joined
you
his
people.
counterparts from Mexico and
Right?
Canada and
Let's
signing
try to
the
finish this.
USMCA trade agreement, which effectively
Actually,
replaces NAFTA, which U.S.
nope,
officials
I'm going to take a
called
quick break.
unfair to American
And I'm going to take
interests.
this quick
The president
break.
said this is a win
Playing for you.
all
No
parties
music.
involved.
I'm actually going to play for you
The USMCA is the largest, most significant
the
modern and
Democrats
balanced trade
saying
agreement in
exactly what
history. All
Trump
of
is
our
saying now about
countries will
immigration.
benefit greatly.
And this wasn't
As part of our agreement, the United States
this-
will be
this
able
wasn't
to lock in
100
our
years
market
ago.
access to Canada and
This was
Mexico
during the Obama
and
years.
greatly expand our agricultural.
There was, according to the Washington Post,
something
reporting,
we've been wanting to
a
do for
surging
many
number of
years.
unaccompanied minors being apprehended at the border.
signing
In
is the
2014,
culmination,
there were
Bill,
nearly
of
70,000,
fierce
according to
negotiations
the
played out
Post
from Ottawa and
reporting. And
Washington,
that
obviously
same
down to
year,
Mexico
there was
City.
this viral
A very
image
interesting,
of children being
signing to
kept
watch
in a
today.
cage
Yep.
at a
Those children being
detention
kept in
center.
cages under
Do you see any
Obama.
parallels here? How different is what we're seeing today from these images?
In many ways, and I think I don't know what image you're using, but I released some of those photos because it was kept very quiet under the Obama administration.
In the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are writing this great document.
Come up to Westchester, go to
Enforcing the rule of law and creating a rational system of legal immigration. That phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that we will stop future flows of illegal immigration. We will make no progress on dealing with the millions of illegal immigrants who are here now and on rationalizing our system of legal immigration. It's plain and simple and unavoidable. When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration, which the American people overwhelmingly oppose.
Did you hear Chuck Schumer? When you use the phrase undocumented people instead of illegal alien, it's a smack in the face of Americans or of legal migrants that come over legally, that do it right. This is Chuck Schumer. This is Chuck Schumer, Chucky Schumer. Let's keep going.
If you don't think it's illegal, you're not going to say it. I think it is illegal and wrong, and we have to change it. Above all else, the American people want their government to be serious about protecting the public, enforcing the rule of law, and creating a rational system of legal immigration that will proactively fit our needs rather than reactively responding to future waves of illegal immigration. People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally. To the advocates for strong...
Wait, did you hear that?
So we are, these people are stuck in a
Chuck
really bad
Schumer.
situation, and so is the mayor of Tijuana and the people of Tijuana.
What's finally going to get?
Chuck Schumer,
the hunger
the
strike
Democrat
at Tijuana is obviously
minority leader of the
strained
Senate.
at this point. I mean, something's got to give.
said that you have to
situation just get worse.
make the distinction between an illegal alien and a legal person, somebody coming legal, and they shouldn't be treated the same.
Now they're responsible for taking care of.
Do you hear that?
I really believe it's up to the Mexican government.
Fair, effective, comprehensive immigration reform, and I'm certainly one. I say to you that the American people will never accept immigration reform unless they truly believe that their government is committed to ending future illegal immigration. And any successful, comprehensive immigration reform bill must recognize this fact.
We've got to do several things, and I am, adamantly against illegal immigrants. I made this exception basically on humanitarian grounds because of the individual stories, but certainly we've got to do more at our borders, and people have to stop employing illegal immigrants. Come up to Westchester, go to Suffolk and Nassau counties, stand in the street corners in Brooklyn or the Bronx. You're going to see loads of people waiting to get picked up to go do yard work and construction work and domestic work.
Immigration system is broken.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
People who should be here are those who come legally.
We have to send a clear message. Just because your child gets across the border, that doesn't mean the child gets to stay.
You look at it this way. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think everybody understands what's actually happening down here. You have a lot of these kids that are coming here and put through terrible situations by their parents. They are brought over in extremely dangerous conditions in an extremely dangerous terrain, and all this can be avoided if they just go through the port of entry. There would be no crime committed by them, and they wouldn't get separated. Why they don't do this is beyond me, but this problem is very easily solved, at least on the short-term basis.
So you see, the Democrats, you just heard Obama, you heard Hillary Clinton, you heard Chuck Schumer, Dianne Feinstein was on there.
I feel bad that Mexico allowed this to
during Obama's administration, they were against immigration.
There's so much being thrown at people.
Right? That speech by Chuck Schumer about calling them illegal aliens was in 2009, Obama's first year.
We need workers in Texas, but it needs to be done the right way.
And what's the problem? What's the problem? You really have to ask yourself, why is everything that Trump says seen differently than when they said it?
Has to be resolved.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate right now, obviously down in Argentina
for the G20
summit.
Gotta stop this
but
clip.
this is an issue that will be front and center, especially over the funding of the border wall.
All right,
and a potential
people, thank you for listening.
So we'll
You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the
Thanks for having me on.
news.
Have a great day.
Breaking the news with Harry, aka the Brave. Have a wonderful weekend. See ya.
Yes, I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I'm
tired as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
15 past, another Fox News alert. Former FBI Director James Comey now challenging a subpoena from Republicans in the House. He accuses them of partisan harassment for demanding a closed-door testimony in the FBI actions leading up to the election of 2016. The House Judiciary Committee Chair is Bob Goodman.